Looney Tunes. Have you ever made such a terrible mistake that you thought you could never be forgiven? Have you ever been so ashamed that you wanted to hide forever?
How could I have done that? How could I have said I didn't even know him? After everything he did for me, everything he taught me.
This is Peter, one of Jesus' closest friends, and he just made the biggest mistake of his life. But here's what he didn't know that morning. Sometimes the end of our story is actually just the beginning. Sometimes our biggest failures become the doorway to God's greatest love. Let me show you something incredible about second chances. 3 years before that terrible night, Peter was just a fisherman. His real name was Simon, and he worked with his hands every day, just like his father and grandfather before him.
Andrew, look at this. If we don't fix these nets soon, the fish will swim right through them waving goodbye.
Better hurry then, brother. The boats go out before sunrise.
Peter wasn't rich or famous or especially educated. He was just an ordinary man who worked hard to take care of his family. But he had something special, a big heart, and a mouth that sometimes got him into trouble.
I'm telling you, the biggest catch isn't always in the deepest water. Sometimes you have to think differently.
Peter, you always have an opinion about everything.
That's because I'm usually right.
Peter was the kind of person who spoke first and thought later. He was brave and loyal, but also quick to make promises he wasn't sure he could keep. Does that sound like anyone you know? Then one day, everything changed. A teacher named Jesus came to their little town, and Peter's life would never be the same.
Simon, may I use your boat to teach? The crowd is pressing close to the water.
Of course, teacher. Though I warn you, this boat hasn't brought much luck lately.
As Jesus taught about God's love and forgiveness, something stirred in Peter's heart. This wasn't like any teaching he'd ever heard before.
Put out into deep water and let down your nets for a catch.
Master, we worked hard all night and caught nothing. But because you say so, I'll let down the nets.
Now remember, Peter was an expert fisherman. He knew these waters better than anyone. Fishing during the day usually didn't work. But something about Jesus made him want to try.
Andrew, come quickly. The nets, they're full.
There are so many fish. The net might break.
Peter had never seen anything like this in his entire life. This wasn't just good luck. This was something impossible made possible.
Go away from me, Lord. I'm a sinful man.
Don't be afraid, Simon. From now on, you'll fish for people.
In that moment, Peter knew his life would never be the same. This Jesus wasn't just a good teacher. He was someone extraordinary. And he was asking Peter to follow him. For 3 amazing years, Peter walked everywhere with Jesus. He saw blind people receive sight, sick people get healed, and hungry crowds fed with just a few loaves of bread.
Master, how is this possible? We started with just 5 loaves and 2 fish.
With God, nothing is impossible, Peter.
Peter loved Jesus more than anything. He truly believed Jesus was the Son of God, and he was determined to be the best disciple ever.
Even if everyone else turns away from you, I never will. I'm ready to go to prison with you. I'm ready to die with you.
Peter, before the rooster crows tomorrow morning, you will deny knowing me 3 times.
No, never. I would never deny you, Lord.
In his heart, he truly believed he would never let Jesus down. But Peter didn't understand how scary things were about to become. Sometimes we make promises with our hearts that we aren't prepared to keep when things get really difficult. Late that night, Jesus brought Peter and the other disciples to a quiet garden to pray. But Jesus seemed different, worried and sad in a way Peter had never seen before.
Peter, James, John, stay here and pray with me. My soul is overwhelmed with sorrow.
Of course, Master. We'll stay awake and pray.
But they were so tired from the long day. Even though they wanted to support Jesus, they kept falling asleep.
Peter, couldn't you stay awake with me for just 1 hour?
I'm sorry, Lord. I wanted to pray with you. I really did.
Peter was already beginning to learn that sometimes our hearts want to do the right thing, but it's harder than we think.
There he is! Arrest him! No! You won't take him!
Peter, put your sword away. Those who live by the sword will die by the sword.
Peter was trying to be brave and loyal, just like he promised. But Jesus didn't want him to fight. As the soldiers led Jesus away, Peter followed at a distance. He wanted to be loyal, but he was starting to feel very, very afraid. Peter followed the crowd to where they were holding Jesus. He wanted to see what would happen, but he didn't want anyone to know he was Jesus' friend.
Wait a minute. Weren't you with that man they arrested? Jesus of Nazareth?
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know him.
Peter's heart was pounding. He could hear Jesus being questioned inside. He wanted to help, but he was terrified.
You're definitely one of his disciples. I can tell by your accent you're from Galilee.
I swear I don't know the man you're talking about.
I saw you in the garden with him. You were there when he was arrested.
I tell you, I don't know him. I've never seen him before in my life.
In that terrible moment, Peter remembered exactly what Jesus had said would happen.
What have I done? What have I done?
Peter ran into the night, crying harder than he had ever cried in his life. He had promised to be loyal, but when things got scary, he had failed completely. For 3 days, Peter lived with his terrible failure. Jesus had died on the cross, and the last thing Peter had done was pretend he didn't even know him.
Maybe I should just go back to fishing. Maybe I was never meant to be his disciple.
Friends, haven't you caught any fish?
No, we haven't caught anything all night.
Throw your net on the right side of the boat and you will find some.
Peter, it's the Lord.
It was Jesus. He was alive. But Peter didn't know if Jesus would still want him as a friend after what he had done.
Come and have breakfast.
After they ate together, Jesus asked Peter the most important question.
Simon, do you love me more than these others do?
Yes, Lord, you know that I love you.
Then feed my lambs.
Simon, do you love me?
Yes, Lord.
Then take care of my sheep. Simon, do you love me?
Lord, you know everything. You know that I love you.
3 times Peter had denied knowing Jesus. 3 times Jesus gave him the chance to say he loved him. Jesus wasn't punishing Peter. He was healing him.
Lord, I'm so sorry I let you down. I promised I would never deny you, but I was scared and
Peter, I know your heart. I knew you would struggle, but I also knew you would come back to me. Your failure isn't the end of your story. It's the beginning of understanding how much I love you.
Jesus didn't throw Peter away because of his mistakes. Instead, he gave him the most important job of all, taking care of God's people. Peter went on to become one of the greatest leaders in the early church. He preached with courage to thousands of people and helped start churches all over the world. But here's the most beautiful part. Because Peter knew what it felt like to fail and be forgiven, he became extra kind to others who made mistakes too. Peter's story teaches us something wonderful. When we mess up, and we all do, God doesn't give up on us. Just like Jesus gave Peter 3 chances to say, I love you, God gives us chance after chance to come back to Him. Maybe you've done something you're ashamed of. Maybe you've broken a promise or hurt someone you love. Peter's story reminds us that failure is not final when we have a God who specializes in second chances. Here are some questions for your family to talk about. First, can you think of a time when someone gave you a second chance? How did that make you feel? Second, is there someone in your life who needs forgiveness from you? How can you show them the same kind of love Jesus showed Peter? And finally, what would you want to tell Peter if you could meet him? What would you want to tell Jesus?
Friends, remember this: God's love is bigger than your biggest mistake. When you fall down, He's always there to help you get back up.
This week, try to remember that you are loved even when you mess up. And maybe, just maybe, you can help someone else remember that too. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who needs to hear about God's amazing grace. And remember, with God, every ending can become a beautiful new beginning. Thanks for watching. If this story touched your heart, like, share, and subscribe for more biblical adventures. Stay blessed and see you in the next story.